Hi guys, it's Mitch here, just coming on to do another Sunday Tarot and Oracle review for you all. So this week I'm actually going to be reviewing a brand new deck of cards that I've got. I was going to hold back a little bit and wait, but these are just so cool. I've been working with them behind the scenes all week and they're really powerful, they're really good. Very different to what the guys have sort of produced so far. So I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to share this with you. So it's going to be an Oracle deck this week, and the deck that I am going to be showcasing is a very new deck. It's literally only just been published in the last kind of couple of months, and it's the SpellCasting Oracle card deck, and this is by Flavia, Kate Peters and Barbara Meiklejohn Free, and the artwork is by Lisbeth, Cheever, Gessaman. So I'm just going to hold that up so you can see the details there. So beautiful deck, very witchy deck. So if you're interested in witchcraft, if you're wanting to learn about the craft, this is absolutely the deck for you. So the box itself is a beautiful matte finished. It's produced by Hay House Publishings. So anything by Hay House, this is the logo here, is always fantastic quality. So love this deck. Now it's really interesting because the guys have produced quite a few decks in the past which have been done with various publishers, but I think this is the first one they've done in a while with Hay House. So yeah, really excited to show this. The box on the back gives a little bit of a brief information about the deck itself, and there are examples of cards, sort of the cards, so you get an understanding, an idea of what is kind of inside and in store for you. So let's open this little bad boy up. So as we go inside, we've got the book, beautiful little book there, and on the back it just says a lot about Flavia and Barbara, bit of an introduction to the cards, so loving that. I was very lucky to get this deck from the Wonky Broomstick shop in Glastonbury, so I was actually able to get this signed by the guys, so that's really cool, really exciting. So for me, I just think that's extra special. But we'll look at the book a little bit more shortly. Let's look at the cards themselves. So this is a 48 card deck, so it's not too many, it's not, you know, a small deck, it's not a large deck, it's a really nice sort of medium in between. I think that's a good sized deck to work with. But the back of the cards are absolutely beautiful, so nice to see some different sort of detail which still incorporates the pentagram. You've got the tree of life there, you've got all this beautiful energy around. Love the artwork of these. So the cards, they're not gilded or anything. Stock quality, sort of, you know, card thickness, they're a good size, beautiful matte finish. So yeah, they're a decent size, they're certainly not flimsy. And I'm just going to show you some of the imagery so you can see this here. So they have like one word, one key piece, and then the image all centers around it. So like this one is the boundaries. Let me just show you a couple, like closure. So we've got somebody there walking away from what could be a relationship or a parting of ways. Lighten your load. So the artwork's really different. This is a really different deck. If you've sort of got a few of the guys' previous sort of decks, you will know that whilst this is fantastic in its own right, it's very different to what they've previously kind of put together, which I think actually makes it even more special. It's nice sometimes to have something fresh, to have something new, to just mix things up a little bit. I love that card, family. It's what we're all aiming for, isn't it, in life? Happy families, happy life, really. So there's some real beautiful artwork here. I'm going to show you a fair few of these, so that you can really see the detail and, you know, what you're working with. This is a great deck to work with intuitively because you've got so much you can sort of pull out and take from the actual images as well as the sort of word, the power word itself. So this is a fantastic deck. I'm really excited to be sharing this deck with you. I really love it. I mean, that one's just beautiful there. I don't want to really show you all of these if I can help it, but you know what I'm like, guys, so I may well end up doing that. Oh, that's a really nice card. It's such powerful, you know, the artwork, really, really powerful images. So what's great with this deck as well, obviously it's called the Spellcasting deck, so you can use it to sort of do readings, but you can also use this in Magic. So if you're somebody that wants to use this deck of cards in a more magical way, you can do, but you can also use these for readings. So I love the fact that this deck is very, very versatile, and you know, they really sort of have tried to keep it simple enough that you can work with them. But when we look at the book, what's great is there's quite a lot of information in there about not just the readings and the message itself, but also about the magical qualities. So we'll look at that shortly. Okay guys, I'm going to literally show you like one or two more, because otherwise I literally will end up showing you the entire deck, which I don't really want to do if I can help it, but they are just so beautiful. Transformation, I'm going to end it there because that's just a nice card to sort of finish on. Right, so that's the cards to give you a bit of a taster, a bit of an overview, a bit of an idea. Then let's look at the book itself. So what's great, as I've said with this book, this is literally a bit like having a mini sort of book of shadows within a sort of instruction book. So as we open this up, we've got a little bit of a welcome, hail and welcome. So there's all about the guys, how this deck's come about. Great, great, great. Then there's a little bit of an introduction to the ancient art of spellcraft. So that's fantastic to have, a bit of background information. Then it's got to break down what is a spell. That's really important because some people have preconceived ideas on what they think magic is to what it actually is. Then what I love here is they've included magical moon phases. So, you know, on certain cards, you tend to use them on certain phases of the moon, and they've incorporated everything that you need to know about moon phases. Waxing crescent, waxing gibbon, full moon, first quarter. You've got everything in there, so that's really special to have that. And then as we sort of move on, you've got the types of full moons. So you've got like the Januaries, the Februaries, you've got them all sort of in the astrological kind of chart there throughout the year. So that's great to have. Then you've also got magical weekdays. So when best to do magic for what sort of various things. You know, so that's really powerful to have actually. Then you've also got magical directions, elements and connections, and there's a breakdown here of like the north, the east, the south, the elements, the fire, the water, and where they sort of sit. So that's, I think, really great to have because a lot of people don't know about that. And then how to cast your own spell. So there's literally loads in here, guys, just before we even get to the cards themselves. Like I said, which I think is great. Then it offers you working with the cards, so it's got some card spreads that you can take advantage of there. So you've literally kind of got everything, and then up until here where we go into interpretation of the cards. And then obviously we're going straight in then, and what we've got is the magical guidance, we've got a spell incantation and kind of keyword magical meanings for each card. So you get quite a chunk of information there, which I think is fantastic to kind of have all of that. You know, there's a lot going on in this little book. So let's just connect with the cards. Let's see what we need to know about for this Sunday, guys. I'm asking for a card for us for this Sunday for the highest of good. Let's just see what comes up. Let's see what we get. Obviously these glide really well, I will say, because these are new as well. These are gliding really nicely, but they are a great size. I love the back. This is probably one of my, sometimes I find with decks they forget about the back of the card, but I actually think this is probably one of my favorite images for the back of a card that I've seen in a very long time. I absolutely really love that sort of side. For me, I think decks look a bit more you know, powerful when they're gilded, so I would have liked to have seen them as a gilded. That's just a personal thing. You know, for a lot of people they wouldn't care, they wouldn't be bothered. That's just a little thing I would have liked to have seen, but it does not take away from the quality at all. So I'm asking us for a card here. Here we go. compassion. So this is what is coming up for us all at this time for Sunday. The card of compassion. Now that's really interesting, because if you think with this week, a lot of therapists, a lot of different people working in various sectors have been sort of pulled back and forth with the energies of what the government have released in COVID. And I actually was saying the other day, God, I feel so sorry. I have so much compassion for some of my therapist and holistic friends that aren't able to start back up yet. And I don't know if that's what this is representing, but just on a deeper level for myself, you know, there is that real compassion at the moment for everything. But let's have a look and see what this is suggesting for us as a collective energy. Let me just find it. So we've got compassion. Now bear with me guys, because as you know I am dyslexic and there's a lot of words here. So I'll try and see if we can decipher it okay without too much problem. Okay, so first of all, the magical guidance. So this is like the main meaning, or reading if you like, that the card is giving you. So it's time to soften your heart a little and offer a sympathetic ear to those close to you who are in need of your love and support at this time. Often emotional hurts cause the heart chakra to close, preventing any feelings of tenderness towards others. It's time to break down your defences and remember that a trouble shared is a trouble halved. Try to imagine how it feels from another's point of view as you start to hone your natural warmth and sympathetic nature. Compassion occurs when your heart expands and opens up to embrace both the emotions of others and those of your own. So go easy on yourself. That's really interesting as well, because from doing readings this week, a lot of people have been really hard on themselves. I know a lot of people are up against redundancies and things of this nature, and you know, they feel like they've done something personally wrong rather than it just being the reflection of the economy at this moment in time. So that's really interesting actually. I can see that in quite a lot of different pockets of areas. So that's his main message. And then spell incantation. So if you wanted to do the spell that they've provided with this card. So hold a green crystal to your heart chakra on a waxing gibbous moon phase on a Friday at dusk. Take a deep breath to go deep within and say, crystals heal a broken heart, emotions ready to impart, sympathy on tender touch, kind words welcome very much. Clarity begins at home, but let pity freely roam. Love, support and hugs all around. Now compassion has been found. Take a heartfelt deep breath, remove the crystal and say, gratefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. That's a pretty cool spell, guys. I like the fact that these spells are pretty in-depth, but they're also simple enough that you can sort of do. You don't need, I mean like that, you don't need too much stuff to do that. That's pretty cool. And then the final section of this is the magical meanings down at the bottom. So this is like key things, key words, key pieces to remember with this card. So it's safe to open up to others. An emotional upheaval is healed. See another's point of view. Honour your feelings. Someone needs your support. There are lessons to learn. Definitely making sense at the moment with everything we're all going through individually and kind of collectively. So wow, that's really powerful. Loving that. So that's really cool. I actually feel quite tingly. I've got tingles with that message. So definitely there's a lot to be said about that. So beautiful, beautiful card. Powerful message. I hope you can take that for this Sunday. I hope it can resonate with you on a personal level. So guys, I think this is kind of all I can really talk about with this deck. It's a really good, it's a really beautiful deck. And I love the fact that I've been blessed to sort of get it actually. When they released it originally, I wanted to go to the actual signing, but I was teaching tarot on the day. So I was lucky enough to get the guys to just sort of put me one by and get it signed, which is fantastic. That's just a little bonus for me. But this is a really, really great deck. So anybody interested in wanting something more witchy, something more magical, definitely check this out. The SpellCasting Oracle by Barbara and Flavia. You will not be disappointed. This is definitely a 10 out of 10. For me, this is actually probably one of my new favourite decks. Loving it. So